So can I interview you now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
Wait for this.
if you could tell me about your background in FMA and how that
Yeah,
started.
so I had been doing martial arts since I was a little kid. Loved it. In Santa Cruz, there wasn't a lot.
I'm sure.
Basically had a little bit of like Japanese karate, a little bit of taekwondo, judo, and a kempo school. That was about it. And there may have been some like hidden guys who weren't public, but in terms of like
Maybe
posing-
Delano or something. You know.
Right. I was doing that when I was a kid, and then when I went to college at Berkeley,
Oh, so you went to Cal. What years were you at Cal?
85 to 89,
Oh, okay.
but there was Kuk Sowan was up there.
Yeah, the Berkeley.
They were getting a lot of articles like Inside Kung Fu.
Oh no, they were always on the
Right,
covers of
and
stuff.
it's like, what did
So I
know?
thought like it was the coolest thing.
I'm
to study.
17.
Yeah, it was the best
I
advertised.
trusted that what they were writing was true, even though it was based on bullshit. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this. So I did that. Really,
Something Handler. That woman wrote all the articles for the Kuk Sowan articles.
Jane Hollander.
Yeah, Jane Hollander. There we go.
They gave her money and she wrote bullshit. But anyway, like, what did I know? And I did that very religiously, really, for several years. And
What belt did you get to?
second degree black belt. I think.
Wow.
But around that time, I was like, this is not really what they're advertising. And so I didn't quit outright, but I started cross-training with Jeff Finder in Serrata Eskrima, and a guy Morgan Lim from Malaysia who was teaching Muay Thai there. And I was like, yeah, this is more what I'm looking for.
Wait, you trained with Jeff Finder?
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, this is more what I'm looking for. And I was doing that, and then I moved to Korea for grad school. And I had already experienced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in '89. And so when I went there, I was just kind of trying to find people who were doing kickboxing, FMA, and getting like a little club together to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we were just copying Horian's tapes, so it wasn't really having an instructor. Did that for like 90 to 94, and when I graduated in like 93, right away in 94, I moved back, came to Santa Cruz for like 2 weeks, say hi and bye to my family, and moved down to LA and started training simultaneously at Inosanto Academy and Hickson's. And so I kept going to that was like branching out of FMA from Serrata to just about everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to, for many people, the mecca of FMA, if you don't have access to specific individuals, it's Dan Inosanto, especially for the U.S.
and famous instructors would come through all the time.
Yeah. Like during that time, I think Benjamin Lima went through, Romy Bacalao might have gone through at that
I don't
time.
remember him.
Yeah.
But Edgar Salike was still alive.
Oh, yeah.
And he was back and forth a lot. Anyway.
Still close to Leo Guy and Kitty Tersha.
Yep.
Dog Brothers were starting to bloom at that. We're ready.
I fought in the Dog Brothers. Yeah, it was fun.
How many gatherings did you fight in? Just one?
Just one. For me,
How
it's
was
like
that
the
for you?
experience. Yeah, it was a good experience. But like the more you do it,
What value did you get out of your experience of fighting in a Dog Brother
like,
gathering?
it's kind of like, what does this look like? Not as a bladed art, but like full contact, impact weapons art, including grappling. I had been doing jiu-jitsu for all of like 3 months or whatever when I did that.
Yeah, out of Hickson's Academy at the time?
And
Okay.
I still use jiu-jitsu to win 2 of the fights. I just submitted 2 guys with like white belt jiu-jitsu. I'm like, this shit kind of works.
Yeah.
And those guys were like,
Hey, that
good,
shit
they
kind of
were
works.
good martial artists, but not good grapplers, right?
Yeah. Unfair advantage at that time.
Oh, yeah.
It still is.
It was like
you know.
magic, yeah. But like I got way more exposure, and then when I was traveling in Asia, like I was living in Korea, like I flew to Philippines, and I wanted to train with the Ilustrisimo guys. I asked around, and everyone said that's who you want to train with. And Tatang had 2 strokes. He was in his 70s, I think.
You said this is 94 that you're with them, 95?
It would have been, that year would have been, I have to look at the photos, but like 93, 94, 92, 93, 94, yeah. Maybe 95. Anyway, right in that area.
Yeah.
Not 96, 97. But he'd had 2 strokes. He was still teaching, but he could move really well for like 10 to 20 seconds, sit down and rest. Move real well, sit down and rest. But Tony Diego trained me a little bit in Luneta, and then he had something in Chinatown. Like
Yeah, Binondo.
Yeah.
It's upstairs, right?
Yeah,
Or was
yeah.
it downstairs?
Yeah, no,
still?
upstairs and tires on the wall and everything.
Yeah, that was the Tommy D gym.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I went there, and like I was telling you earlier, Tom was like greatly diminished, but still for 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds, like lightning fast, super accurate. I was like, shit. And they would provoke him. You know, like Tony Diego would walk up to him and try to touch his face and stuff.
Yeah.
And he would just be, I mean, like,
Yeah.
for 10, 20 seconds, like you couldn't even see him move, but then he'd be like, oh, I need to rest, you know.
Yeah.
And they were teasing him. They tried to poke him with a stick or touch his ear. And they couldn't. Like he wouldn't let it happen. Like just reflex took over. You know.
I think it's like, depending on which one you're looking, he was either, 94, 95? So he'd have been 95 or 91.
Oh, was he? Oh, God.
Yeah.
But he
He's
definitely,
more- the
had
record-
2 strokes.
There's stuff that showed that, well, there's a birth certificate and then also baptismal record says 1900 or 1904. But there's also the documents he had that allowed him to work as a merchant seaman until the 1970s. That said he was like 20 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows? In any case, and there was a guy, I'm blanking on his name, but it was Robert or Roberto Morales.
Yeah. Roberto Morales.
He was kind of doing the business side of it, but I didn't get the feeling he was much of a fighter.
Okay.
I couldn't tell, but my understanding was he was training and
Yuli Romo wasn't around at that time?
no.
Because you're asking about like who's
He was in the books and stuff, but I
Yeah.
think he'd already done his own thing.
Yeah.
But no, the guy who was doing the most like trying to codify it and give certificates and do the business side was Robert Morales. And the guy who I thought looked like the best fighter I'd ever seen was Tony Diego. And I'd seen a lot of the Serrata guys, not just Jeff, but like guys
Folks
who
in
lived in
Stockton.
Stockton and
Yeah.
grew up with it, and they
Yeah.
were good.
Yeah.
And still, I thought what Tony was doing was just like more realistic, faster, more direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
Anything else that like did those experience with FMA influence anything later on in martial arts?
No, I sort of faded out of MMA because like Korea is so safe.
Yeah.
I tell my guys,
Can't
like,
have a knife.
yeah, they're like, you don't think MMA is effective? I said, if I were like a law enforcement officer, or if I were in the military, or if I lived in a horrible neighborhood or something, it's like I would still do a lot of FMA. Like my life is safe.
Yeah, it's not
I'm mostly
appropriate for some
Korea.
countries,
Yeah,
for some
and
lifestyles.
like jiu-jitsu is fun. I like it more, you know. So that's why. But yeah, I mean, like, it's cool. I think FMA can. I mean, some of the people out there are too fantasy based, and it's like the Kempo guys. Like, what's your defense if someone grabs your shirt and they poke both your eyes out and kick you in the nuts and everything?
Yeah.
It's like it might work. But like all the guy did is touch your shirt, so now you're going to jail.
Yeah, because you're kicking him in the nuts and
poking your
Tiger
eye.
clawing his
Yeah,
eyes
and it's like,
because he touched your t-shirt.
He's going to own your house, and you're going to go to jail, right?
Yeah.
And so some of the Filipino guys too, they're like, okay, this guy throws a punch, and then I stab him 18 times, with my knife, and it's like, yeah, you could do that, but it's probably not very wise. Like he tried to slap you in the face.
Yeah.
So there's like a kind of fantasy thing about I have a knife and I'm going to kill everybody, and it's like, maybe,
Enjoy that life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get the feeling that the guys under Tatang were in that mode. Like some of the Sayat guys are kind of in that mode. Like
Yeah.
I carry 10 knives on me and I throw 5 of them and then I cut you to pieces. And it's like, dude, I was just asking you for spare change or something. Like it's just like, could you kill someone? Yeah. They don't have a knife and you do? Yeah. I mean, if I give my daughter a knife and she's angry enough, she'll probably kill somebody. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like so
Doesn't
fantasy.
take a lot of
it's so
skill.
fantasy based, right? And what's the judge going to say? So, sir, why were you carrying 10 knives? You must like to do this stuff, and you must be looking for fights, So, I felt like the Tatang's guys were preserving his art and making it modern and contemporary and realistic, but not like that. Like if gun guys have the gunslinger fantasy, some of FMA guys have the knife slinger fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like it's not the Wild Wild West. You can't get away with gunslinging or knife slinging.
Yeah.
So I like their balance of like it's tradition, but it's also very realistic. But also we're not fantasizing about killing people. I just thought it was a good vibe. All the guys there were cool. They could fight, but they didn't want to fight. Right? They weren't all like, look how many knives I carry. I don't even know if they carried knives. Probably they did, but they weren't talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it for me for now.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
but just after seeing so many people in LA and Stockton and all these places, like, I would see other people and I'd be like, yeah, man, that guy moves well. That's cool. Oh, yeah, but that guy also moves well. That's cool. It was only when I saw Tatang, and not everyone in Tatang's group, because not everyone's as dedicated, but
Yeah, some of them
you come in once a week on Sundays and,
Yeah.
and play around. But when I saw Tatang move for 20 seconds, when I saw Tony Diego move for 20 minutes, I was like, I haven't seen this in LA. I have
Yeah.
not seen this in Stockton. This is kind of special.
Yeah. It's different from what Edgar was doing.
He had
Even
so
though
much
there
of a
are
blend. He had a blend.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Cool, yeah.